What's cracking, guys?
What's happening? Time for our top 5 whiskeys of 2019.
It was a great year.
We've never done anything like this. We normally don't do like a whiskey of the year kind of a thing because we focus so much on like auction bottles.
Yeah.
And usually the best 10, 20 whiskeys that we try that year end up coming from whiskeys that were bottled like 20, 30, 40 years ago, right?
Decades ago.
Yeah, so we don't really do that because it doesn't seem to make sense. This year we decided to do a top 5 whiskeys for 2019, and it's going to be about value. It's going to be about, so let's say if a whiskey, it's not about the 5 best whiskeys, it's about which ones were worth it the most. So here's the number 1 rule is it has to be whiskey that was released in 2019.
Yes.
Okay? So it can't be anything that was released in 2018 or before. And it's going to be about the value of that whiskey. So meaning like a whiskey might be $500 and it scores a 92, but maybe we don't think it's worth the $500 price tag. Maybe we think it's worth like $400 or $350. That won't make it. Okay, but a whiskey might score an 85, but it was $30. We're like, wow, we're going to buy 3 bottles of that. So that's kind of the way we're gauging it. When we don't normally do value kind of things. This is the first time we've ever done it. So that's kind of how we wanted to approach our top 5 whiskeys of 2019. So without further ado, at number 5, we have the Four Roses special release, 2019 release right here.
Actually, what's in our glasses right now.
Actually, what's in our glasses right now. Yeah. Enjoying this very, very much.
Love
Four
it.
Roses releases this every year, and it's almost always incredible.
Yeah.
The 2013 release is one of the 5 best bourbons we've ever had.
Mind-blowing.
Epically mind-blowing. None of them have been as good ever since, but this year's has been very good. I know there's some very old whiskey in here, 21-year-old whiskey.
21-year-old whiskey in there, yeah.
Yeah, and it goes for about $150, comparing to some other premium bourbons around the $150 range, $200 range. I think this one tends to be our favorite for around the price.
Especially to actually get aftermarket BTAC and Pappy.
Yeah.
For $150, it definitely compares.
Yeah, and the reason you might say, well, we can never find this. It's impossible to get. I'm going to give you a little secret.
Uh-oh.
We get this bottle every year with 0 trouble, and here's how we do it. So we've been doing it for like 5-6 years straight now. Been getting it the same way. And I know we're going to tell people now, so it's going to be harder to get, but that's all right.
It's
the
over.
The Whiskey Exchange releases it for around $150. Yes, there's about a $40 shipping, no tariff because it's a bourbon. So you do have to pay about $40 for shipping, but that becomes your markup. So think of it as tax. $150 plus tax.
Yes, sir.
Ends up being, about $165 anyways.
Right.
So it ends up coming out to be like around $190 with shipping, but the Whiskey Exchange gets it, and it actually stays on. Previous releases stayed on for about a week. This one stayed on for about 3 days on the site.
Yeah.
So when we kind of know it's coming out, we're checking. And it's not like you have to keep refreshing the page every 5 minutes to get lucky to grab it. It was on the site for about 3 days. Okay? Previous releases were on the site for even longer. So that's our secret on how we get this. Costs us a little bit more, $20, $30 more, but it's not that much more. It's not like you have to pay the $500 aftermarket.
It's worth it. And obviously, it's still only 1 bottle per customer. So tell your friends, coordinate it. But if you kind of check almost every day and time it right, maybe a couple months after it actually is released, you're going to get it.
Very tasty. For $150, you're getting a premium product.
Yes, sir.
And that's why, for the value, we think you're getting a high-end bourbon experience worth $150. So that's why it lands at number 5 for us.
Number 4, the new Aaron 18.
This Aaron 18-year-old is a 2019 release. They decided to rebrand, completely change the bottle, completely changed the style. They went kind of a rich sherry. The quality on this compared to the price is unbelievable. Haven't seen it in the United States yet. We ordered this from the UK. It's got the UK label here on the back. 75 pounds. It was either 70 or 75 pounds. I can't remember exactly. For that price, it's about $100.
Nuts.
$100 for a rich sherry. No flaws. It's not super complex, but it's a rich sherry, good quality, super luscious and tasty whiskey. Can't go wrong with this. It's a bottle for $100. I'd comfortably get 3 bottles of it rather than getting one Macallan 18 for $300. I'd much rather have this.
Yeah. Stock up.
3 of these.
Yeah.
So
Phenomenal value.
phenomenal value. This is our number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have the Diageo Special Release 2019
That's a good
Talisker 15-year-old.
one. Yes.
Talisker provides amazing value.
Yes.
We've said it many times that we think the 10-year-old is incredible value, the 18-year-old being one of the best bang for the bucks, especially when we get it from the UK for around $100.
Yeah.
This 15-year-old, can't remember exactly. It's not out in the United States yet. I think it's coming.
Yeah.
But in the UK, it was around $125, $130-ish.
Yeah.
So right around that $130-ish range. And it really provides a complex experience, very rich, cask strength, I believe, 57.3%. We actually have reviewed this on our channel already, so go check out our review. It is truly a bottle where you would want to get 1 or 2 bottles of at the very least. I'd say all the whiskeys here in the top 5, that kind of was a requirement, is like, all right, it's at this price. Would you be willing to pay more for it? Every single one of them has been yes. Would you get 1, 2, or 3 bottles of this whiskey?
For extra,
Every single one of these bottles has been a yes.
Yes. And does a great job of highlighting the age, the extra age, and it's all freshly charred American oak.
Yeah.
It's all about the distillate. Talisker, man.
Very good.
Very, very good.
We're at number 2.
Number 2.
The Killan
Killan
8-year-old. This 8-year-old has been getting a lot of buzz, and for good reason. For good reason. It's a richly, you get that Campbelltown characteristic. It drinks more special than an 8-year-old. It's really good quality. It's not mind-blowing to the point where like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. This is the best whiskey I've ever had. Some people are getting that experience out of it.
Right.
But it is truly incredible, epic value. One of the best values I've seen over the last few years. This was only 50 pounds.
That's
very cheap.
Value. Yeah.
I know it's hard to get, and on some of these whiskeys, like I know the Aaron 18 you could definitely get that we just did. I know the Four Roses is probably going to be close, very difficult to get now, but at least it's something to look forward next year. So this one is sold out at most places. It's going to be hard to get. Though I do know a few online shops that still have it for a little bit more than the 50 pounds. But it's more of to kind of show you, hey, this is epic value. Look out for future releases. I'm definitely going to be looking out for future releases of Killan. And this whiskey right here really showed me what they're capable of. Totally reminds me of some of the special younger Springbank bottles at 50 pounds. It's just truly a stunner.
Right, and it's all freshly charred sherry casks, right?
It's really good. I haven't paid attention too much to the cask, just that it's sherry casks. Heard great things about it.
Yeah. That's
why I decided to purchase it. Tried it. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
Just very good quality. And for 50 pounds, I can't think of a better bottle. If this was even 100 pounds, I would say get it.
So that's how you know.
That's how you know.
That's incredible.
So that's our number 2. Number 1.
Number 1. Drum roll.
Yeah. Whiskey of 2019.
Boom.
The Black Friday 21-year-old from the Whiskey Exchange. This 21-year-old doesn't say what distillery it's from, but it's actually a Glenbergie.
Yes.
And it's bottled at cask strength. So starting last year, I think it was last year, if I'm wrong, it might have been the year before, but I believe it was last year, they did a Highland Park, again, like a Black Friday kind of a bottle.
Right.
So what they do once a year is the Whiskey Exchange releases on Black Friday a special whiskey that they have selected, that they consider super premium, and they give it to you for a very good deal. And it usually sells out within like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Sells out right away. This one was 1,800 bottles only, and there was a 2-bottle limit, and it was around $100, if not a little less, like 95 to like $100.
Yeah.
It's truly an amazing wow whiskey. Tropical fruits, waxy kind of character.
Right.
Really special, really unique. You don't get to try this whiskey from this distillery very many times. It usually goes into blends. So many reasons why it was such a wow experience.
Yeah.
For such little money. Check out our review. It'll be coming out soon. We're going to be reviewing this whiskey soon. I do know that you're probably saying this is your number one. You went with value. That was kind of our reasoning behind everything in terms of how we were picking these bottles. And it's not available anymore. It's obviously sold out. You can't get this. But one thing you can do is next year on Black Friday, Whiskey Exchange, if you're in the United States, they could ship it here to most states, not every state, unfortunately.
Right.
If you're in other parts of the world, I'm sure they ship it there. But these Black Friday bottlings from the Whiskey Exchange are some of the best values of the year. And I would say that this year, this was the whiskey that wowed me the most.
Yes.
Out of all the bottles that were released in 2019, if I'm factoring in value.
Yes.
Again, these were not the 5 best whiskeys we had. If we were going to do the 5 best whiskeys we had in 2019, they would all be different. None of these 5 would be.
They'd all be like from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. So this was in 2019.
Yes.
What were the best values from the whiskeys that we tried and purchased?
Yes.
So there you go.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know it's 2020 now. It's not 2019 anymore, but we don't get to see each other all the time. Kind of live far, so we got together. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Good times. Cheers to you guys. And happy 2019 and
Happy New Year.
And on to 2020.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.